Good morning and welcome back to Fayette, Missouri. Estes Field on the campus of Central Methodist University. We only got one game in yesterday. That was the Madonna win over St. Francis 9-6. So we will have a triple header today, a triple header tomorrow, and we'll finish up this tournament on Thursday, or this round of the NAIA College World Series first round. Yesterday, Madonna defeated St. Francis 9-6. And Madonna will play against number 1 seed Southeastern in our 2:30 game today. And then the 6 o'clock game will feature yesterday's loser. The Fighting Saints of St. Francis will take on the loser of this game between Kansas Wesleyan and Central Methodist University. Central Methodist is the 3rd seed. Kansas Wesleyan, the Coyotes, are the 2 seed, so they will be the home team as they take the field. Here's the starting lineup. For the Eagles, Bobby Nichols, the center fielder, will lead it off. He'll be followed by shortstop Robbie Merced, then the first baseman, Jeremy Conforti. The cleanup spot, Tanner Sears, the left fielder. Alan West, who's pitching and also the DH, will hit 5th, followed by Tommaso Girola. He is the second baseman. Joseph Weatherford, the right fielder. Joey Fitzgerald, the third baseman, and Logan Duty is the catcher for the Eagles. And they'll face Nathan Rigi. Rigi is 10-2 on the year. He has a 3.78 ERA. The defense for Kansas Wesleyan, the outfield left to right, Kendall Foster, Kevin Esquabin Cruz is a center fielder, and Zach Olson, the right fielder. Infield, Dustin Sipe is at third, Jarrett Gable, the shortstop, William Dryberg at second. Hayden Brown is the first baseman, and Kensuke Okada is catching here in Game 1. So we are on the campus of Central Methodist University. The Eagles, the 3rd seed, will be the visiting team in this contest today. The Coyotes were in their white uniforms, pinstripe uniforms with the purple trim, and the Eagles with their black jerseys and the gray pants, their primary colors, black and green. So we're ready to go as Nathan Rigi will settle in. He'll face Bobby Nichols to get this second game underway. We had one game yesterday, and then the rain got to us, and they called it off and just decided to push everything back a little bit. So here we go with game 1 of 3 on this Tuesday in Fayette, Missouri. Rigi, the right-handed pitcher, working to Bobby Nichols. Swing and a miss on the first pitch, and we are underway. Nichols out of Detroit, Michigan, went to Henry Ford Community College, playing for Coach Nate Breland. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a ground ball towards second. Handled there, throw to first, and that's the first out of the ball game, as handled easily by Dryberg. He throws to Hayden Brown, and there's one out here in the top of the first inning. That'll bring up Robbie Merced. Merced is the shortstop out of Springfield, Missouri, and he'll step in from the right side. First pitch to him, swing and a miss. A pitch a little bit outside. And here's the next one to Merced. That's outside. Just underway. Cloudy skies, but the rain should stay away today. We had an issue with that yesterday, but should be in good shape today. Rigi's next pitch hit hard in the left center field, and that is going to get down for a base hit. Rounding first, making the turn, and checking in with a leadoff or a one-out single, Robbie Merced. Hit that ball hard. Good job out there by Esqualin Cruz to get to it. Cut it off before it went all the way to the left center field fence. The dimensions here, 310 down the line, 400 to straightaway center. It is 380 in the alleys both ways. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. The throw down is not in time. Merced has a stolen base. So Merced on the move. And he's at second base with one out. Jeremy Conforti is the hitter. Conforti out of Villa Park, Illinois. 0-1 on him, but Merced wasted no time getting that stolen base. We'll talk about him as we go along today. He's the son of a former Major League player. He's thinking about stealing third here. Here's a pitch low, 1-1, and Rigi taking a look back there at second base. No score, top of the first inning, one out. Merced is at second. Rigi working out of the stretch position. And that is a check swing foul to the third base dugout. 1-2 is the count. Rigi is the ace of the staff. And he's getting the assignment here in game one of this NAIA first round site. Merced with a decent lead. Here's the pitch. Popped up into short center field. Everybody giving chase. The center fielder coming in and making the catch. Pasquale Cruz came in and made the catch. And holding at second is Merced. There are two out. Rigi out of state of Illinois. He is a junior. And he'll face Tanner Sears. Sears, Higginsville, Missouri, went to North Central Community College before coming to Fayette. First pitch to him, hit him. He kind of turned away from him and hit him right in the left shoulder. So now runners at first and second with two out, and that'll bring in Alan West. West, the pitcher, and also the designated hitter. West out of Louisville, Texas, went to Lyon College, one of several transfers from Lyon College on this CMU team. And he has two runners out there with two out here in the top of the first inning. Here's a pickoff attempt. Merced dives back in. This is a turf field. Still a little damp from all the rain yesterday, but certainly very playable. West from the right side steps in that batter's box, deep in the box. Merced is at second. Sears at first. And the first pitch to West is taken upstairs, 1-0. West, all-conference player, pitcher of the year in the conference, also made all-conference as an outfielder. Rigi into the stretch, in a little trouble here in the first inning. Pitch, swing and a miss. 1-1. If West would reach, it'd be up to Tommaso Girola. West against Rigi, pitcher against pitcher here. Big lead by Sears at first. And they pick off the runner at first. Oh, my. You look back at 7 at Merced, and the secondary lead by Sears, I mentioned that, and they went that way and picked him off. Wow, what a big out that is. So in the inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, and one left. A big play there by Rigi to Hayden Brown. We head to the bottom of the first. No score. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Here's the lineup for the Coyotes of Kansas Wesleyan. They are the number 2 seed, 42-13 overall, 27-6. They're the champions of the KCAC. William Dryberg will lead things off. He's the second baseman. He'll be followed by Kendall Foster, the left fielder. Dustin Sipe, third baseman. Then first baseman Hayden Brown is in the cleanup spot. Zach Beatty's the designated hitter. Jared Gable, the shortstop. Kevin Esqualin Cruz, the center fielder. Zach Olson is the right fielder. And hitting in the ninth spot is Kenseike Okada. He is the catcher today. And they'll face Alan West. I mentioned West Pitcher of the Year in the conference, in the Heart of America Conference, and also an all-conference player as an outfielder. And West has a 2.99 ERA. He struck out 103. He's 9-2 on the year. Struck out 103, walked only 18, given up just 27 earned runs, just 71 hits. So 103 strikeouts, 299. Both these pitchers over the 100 mark in strikeouts this year. The West will face Dryberg, Foster, and Sipe here in the bottom of the first. Wow, that was a big, big pickoff at first base. And the runner at first, you normally think, well, they're watching the runner at second. But a good play by the Coyotes. And you take that little extra step off first base when there's a runner at second. And it cost him. So let's see what Alan West can do here as he faces Dryberg. First pitch on the outside corner for a strike. And it's 0-1. Dryberg wears number 77. Pitch to him, fouled back to the screen. Is quickly 0-2. And he is out of St. Joe. St. Joseph, Missouri. Quickly 0-2 on him. Kendall Foster waits on deck. Bottom of the first, no score. Swing and a miss. And that's how the bottom of the first starts, and West gets his first strikeout. And that'll bring up Kendall Foster. Foster is the left fielder. He's out of Prosper, Texas. Left-handed hitter. And West put Dryberg away on 3 pitches. This one's fouled left side, well out of play. And it's 0-1. So Foster steps in. West not messing around, throwing strikes. Here's the next one. That's in for a strike. So he's thrown 5 pitches, all for strikes. It's 0-2. Next game will be a winner's bracket game, Madonna and Southeastern. That'll be a fun one at 2:30. Here's the next one to Foster. It's quickly 0-2 on the left fielder. Pitch, ground ball to first, handled there by Conforti, and he flips to West for the out. Quickly 2 out, and here's Dustin Sipe. Sipe is the third baseman. He's out of Aztec, New Mexico. He is a senior. So West going right to work on these first 2 hitters. Sipe steps in from the right side. And the first pitch to him. That's it for a strike. So 0-1 on the Coyote third baseman. West looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Well, these two teams throwing their best as far as pitchers are concerned. Well, they consider the 2 aces. And here's the 0-2 pitch to Dustin Sipe. Swing and a miss. A 1-2-3 inning. 2 strikeouts in the inning for West. Nothing across. We head to inning number 2. No score. Second inning, Allen West was at the plate when Tanner Sears was picked off at first base, so he will come back to the plate. He'll be followed by Tommaso Girola and Joe Weatherford. Top of the second, no score. First of 3 games today from Estes Field in Fayette in this first round of the National NAIA Baseball Tournament. Here's the pitch to West. Fouls it straight back 0-1. 4 umpires during the national tournament. Most of the time in college you have 2. But 4 umpires today in these for these national tournament games. 0-1 on West. Riggi going back to work. Outside corner 0-2. Riggi looking for his first strikeout. It's 0-2 on West. And he got it. 3 pitches. 1 out here in the second, and here's Girola. Girola, the second baseman. He's out of Italy. Went to Frontier Community College. Torino, Italy, he calls home. He's a junior. 5'8", 185. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. I mentioned West had 103 strikeouts. He now has 105 on the year with his 2 in the first inning. And Riggi also a strikeout pitcher. That's the outside corner strike 2. He came into this action with 101, so he's at 102. 3.78 earned run average. 2 good pitchers going at it here. That pitch outside. Off the turf. And it's 1-2 to the CMU second baseman. Riggi gets the sign he wants, and the pitch is high, 2-2. Well, that's the first, I believe, 2-ball count we've had on any batter in this game. Kansas Wesleyan out of Salina, Kansas. And a few fans have made their trip here to watch their Coyotes. Next one. Line drive into left field. That's a hit. Cut off by Foster, and that'll be a 1-out single for Girola. So the Eagles get their second hit of the game, and that'll bring up Joe Weatherford. Weatherford, Flower Mound, Texas, he calls home. And he's one of those transfers from Lyon College. He's a left-handed hitter, plays right field for the Eagles. Girola not running, pitch is over for a strike. St. Francis baseball team is here to watch the action. They'll play in the 3rd game today. Here's the next pitch. There's a strike. So Weatherford quickly behind on the count. Runner at first. Girola into the stretch. They throw over, and diving back in is Girola. Nice move by Riggi. Very little breeze today. A nice overcast afternoon. I guess still morning in Central Time. Here's the pitch way outside. Very little movement of the American flag out in right center field. Good crowd here for this first game. Another throw to first. And Girola back in plenty of time. We're in the top of the second inning, no score. CMU, the visiting team on their home field today. They're the 3rd seed. The Coyotes are the number 2 seed. Runner is not going. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to first. Handled there and hustling to the bag to get the out barely is Brown. Good hustle by Weatherford. He dove for that bag. The ball was bobbled momentarily by Brown, but he did get the put out. And on the play, Giarola goes to second. So he's there with 2 outs for Joy Fitzgerald, the third baseman. Fitzgerald out of Crystal Lake, Illinois. Another left-handed hitter. Well, there's that runner in scoring position at second base with 2 out again. And the first pitch to Fitzgerald, hit in the air to left field, and it is back, and it's going to be caught right at the warning track. Hit it hard, but Foster got a good jump on it, and he made the catch about a foot onto the warning track in left field. So in the inning, no runs. It was a hit, no errors, and 1 left. The Eagles have stranded 2. We head bottom of the second. No score, Kansas Wesleyan and CMU. Bottom of the second inning, it'll be Hayden Brown, Zach Beatty, and Jarrett Gable, the 3 scheduled hitters to face Allen West. Brown, Gardnerville, Nevada, is home to this senior. Left-handed hitter, and that pitch just outside, 1-0. These are 9-inning games. A lot of college, you play the doubleheaders, you play 7, but national tournament, 9-inning games. There's a strike, 1-1. West has been around that plate. A 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts in the first inning. 1-1 to Brown. Swing and a miss, 1-2. One and two on the first baseman for the Coyotes. And here's the pitch from West. And he chopped it foul right at the plate. Still 1-2. Stands starting to fill up here. A lot of folks in their lawn chairs lined up along the first base line. Here's a fly ball into left field. That's down the line, and it is off the base of the wall. That'll be a lead-off stand-up double for Hayden Brown. High fly ball. It just kept carrying and bounced off the base of the wall about 320 feet away. So a leadoff double for Brown. Here's Zach Beatty. Beatty is the designated hitter. Maple Park, Illinois. So he'll step in from the right side with a runner at second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch to Beatty. Takes it low. Good walk to strikeout ratio for West. I mentioned, 105 strikeouts and 18 walks, something like that. It's 1-0 on Beatty. Pitch to him. Check swing. Takes it low. 2-0. On the designated hitter for the Coyotes. And here's the next one to him. That's way outside. 3-0. So 3-0 on Beatty with Jared Gable waiting on deck. Bottom of the second inning, no score. But the Coyotes have a runner at second. Into the stretch goes West and brings it in. There's a strike, letter high, outside corner, 3-1. Beatty stands on, kind of crowds the plate. He's not going to give up that outside corner of the plate. There's the 3-1 pitch to him. Ball 4 outside. That's the first walk given up by West. So now the Coyotes have first and second, nobody out for Jared Gable. Gable, Colleyville, Texas, senior, 6'2", 205 pounds. He's the shortstop. 2 on, nobody out for the Coyotes. A double and a walk. And here's Gable, steps in from the right side. Swing and a miss. West is a strikeout pitcher, and if you're a CMU fan, you're rooting for one right here. Kevin Wesleyan Cruz on deck. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. Second baseman, Girola, trying to hold Brown close. Beatty not taking much of a lead off of first. 1-1 here into the stretch is West. And his next one. Outside corner, strike 2. 1-2. The Squalling Cruz is on deck. Can the pace is slowed down here a little bit with runners on base here in the bottom of the second inning. And now, I think we have a pitch clock violation. 2-2 is the count. So West took a little too much time. So it's 2-2. Outside corner, called strike 3. And West gets his third strikeout. And that'll bring up Kevin Wesleyan Cruz. He is the center fielder. He's out of Puerto Rico. He's the number 7 hitter in this order. So big out there for Allen West. Wesleyan Cruz waits, takes a strike, 0-1. Duty is catching for the Eagles. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss. That pitch on the outside corner is quickly 0-2. On deck, Zach Olson, the right fielder. Wesleyan Cruz has been unable to make contact with the first 2 pitches. And it's 0-2, and the next one to him. A little ground ball towards second. Handled there, throw to short for 1, on to first, double play. Well, there you go. 2 on, get the strikeout in the double play. That goes Girola to Merced to Conforti. A 6-3 double play. And in the inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. We head to the third. No scores. CMU and Kansas Wesleyan. Top of the third inning. No score in this one. Logan Duty will lead things off for the Eagles. And then it's back to top of the order. Duty, Slidell, Louisiana. He went to Lyon College. He's a transfer. And he's doing the catching in game one. And he'll work against Nathan Riggy. And the first pitch from Riggy is fouled straight back 0-1. After Duty, we'll go back to the top of the order and Bobby Nichols. 0-1 pitch to Duty. Outside, 1-1. Riggy struck out one, hit a batter. But the key play in this game was a pickoff of Tanner Sears at first base in the first inning with Allen West at the plate. 1-1 pitch. A little high and tight. Dustin Sipe is at third. Jared Gable at short. William Dryberg is the second baseman. Hayden Brown, the first baseman for the Coyotes. Pitch. Fly ball. Foul. Right field. Out of play. So Duty ready to work again against Riggy. Just a little low. Kansas Wesleyan fans didn't like that call. CMU fans did. Here's the next one from Riggy. Fly ball, right field, hustling over toward the line and not able to get it in foul territory. Zach Olson. He got there, reached out, got the glove on it, but couldn't hang on in foul territory. So just a long strike. And Duty comes back to the plate. Riggy ready to work again. And here's the pitch. Hit him. Hit him on the left forearm. That's a second hit batter by Riggy. And that puts the leadoff man on for Bobby Nichols, who grounded to second his first time up. Central Methodist is, and we have a pinch runner, I believe, over at first base for Duty. So Nichols trying to get the Eagles on the board here. Here's the pitch. There's a bunt. Good bunt. Picked up by the third baseman. Throw to first. Low and out. No, stay safe. They say that the first baseman was bobbling the ball. And now, Coach Neal's coming out. He's going to argue that. He's saying that his first baseman, Brown, able to hang on to that low throw. Sipe picked it up, threw to first on a bounce to Brown. Brown had it. The first base umpire said no, he was juggling the ball. And Coach Neal is not happy. So, I think that'll go as a base hit. Duty goes to, or rather the pinch runner goes to second. It's going to be an error on the third baseman. So, Nichols on at first. Coach Neal not happy with it. Asked for appeal, and now they're going to say that he held on to it and he's out, and now Coach Breland is going to have an argument. So the runner is at second, but they're going to rule that the first baseman held on to the ball. So it's going to go as a sacrifice, but Nichols will be out at first. Now Coach Breland is talking to the home plate umpire. Well, it was ruled safe on the error by the third baseman, Sipe. Coach Neal came out. He argued. The umpires got together, and then they said he held on to it, and he's out. So there's one out, runner at second, and there's Robbie Merced. Merced, a base hit his first time up. Stands in from the right side. And the first pitch to him, inside, ball one. Well, both coaches got into that discussion with the umpires. So the runner at second, sacrifice work, but Nichols out on the close play at first. Pitch to Merced, lined into center field. That's going to be a base hit, and runners will be at first and third. Merced hard hit into center field. So runners at first and third now with just one out. The Eagles threatening to take the lead. Terry Tolliver is the pinch runner, and he's at third. Here's Jeremy Conforti, flied out to center his first time up. Tolliver, the pinch runner. Merced's on at first, swing and a miss. Merced already has a stolen base, and don't be surprised if he takes off here. Very good athlete. There's a throw over there. Tolliver now jumps off third a couple of steps, but retreats back to the bag. First and third, one out, one strike on Conforti. Merced with a decent lead. There, he's not going. Swing and a miss, strike two. He started to go, took a couple of steps, and then stopped. So it's 0-2 on Conforti, who's 0-1. Here's the next one to him. That's in the dirt. It's a skips back to the backstop. Tolliver dives in safely. And going down to second is Merced. That'll be a wild pitch. And Tolliver scores to make it 1-0. And on that wild pitch, Merced gets down to second. So it's 1-0 CMU. Well, that play was close to the plate. Okada got to it, threw to the pitcher, Rigi, and Tolliver with his speed able to get in there. 1-0. So Merced now at second with one out. 1-0 CMU. With Merced's speed, a base hit by Conforti probably would score him. Called third strike on the inside corner. That's the second strikeout for Rigi. Well, how big is that wild pitch going to be? Tanner Sears will step in now. He was hit by a pitch and then picked off first in the first inning. Mentioned Central Methodist, member of the Heart of America Conference, and they are the conference champs for the third year in a row. They come into this game 34-17. 23-7 in the conference. Here's the pitch. Fouled right side. In the conference tournament, the Eagles defeated William Penn 19-2, but then lost to Baker 8-7 in, I believe, in 11 innings, and then to Mid-American Nazarene 9-8. 1-0. Sears fouled that one back. 0-1 on him. Here's the next one to Sears. Inside. Backs him away from the plate. 1-1. Nate Breland, the coach of this team. The Eagles, his 10th year, he's 350, 163. 7th year in a row the team has made the NAIA tournament. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Sears. Line drive right to the second baseman. A little soft liner right at Rayberg for the out. But in the inning, the Eagles pick up a run, a wild pitch, scoring that run. They did it. One base hit. A sacrifice bunt and a wild pitch. And left one runner on base. Bottom of the third coming up. It's 1-0 CMU over Kansas Wesleyan. Bottom of the third inning, it'll be Zach Olson, Kensuke Okeda, and the top of the order in William Dryberg to face Allen West. He struck out three, has walked one, giving up just the one hit. Olson wears number 99. He's out of Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. And the first pitch to him, swing and a miss. Oh, 1 on Wilson. Here's the next one. There's a ground ball towards short. Merced up, over, and out. One down. And that brings up the catcher, Kensuke Okeda. Okeda from Osaka, Japan. Kansas Wesleyan, a member of the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference, located in Salina, Kansas. Enrollment at just under 900 this year. Swing and a miss, 0-1. There are the Coyotes. The team was 42-13 this year. That's most wins in program history. They were 27-6 in the conference and run the regular season in the KCAC. Swing and a miss, 0-2. They went 3-2 in the postseason tournament, losing to McPherson 11 innings in the championship match. It was the first regular season title in 12 years, so congratulations to Bill Neal and his club. 0-2, check swing, and the appeal said no at first base, 1-2. Bill Neal has been the coach of this club since 2014. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Fourth strikeout now for West, and that brings the top of the order to the plate in William Dryberg, who struck out his first time up. Coach Neal's been the coach since 2014. Overall record 285, 277. Now at Kansas Wesleyan, he's 261 and 200. Counts also made the tournament last year. Neal is a native of Ontario, Canada. Outside corner, strike one. He's also coached at Bacone and Northwestern Oklahoma. He was a catcher at Bacone. So, two quality coaches, two quality programs. 0-1 on Dryberg. Here's the next one. He bunts down the third base line. It rolls foul, and it's 0-2. Bill Newell coaching down at third. 0-2 on his leadoff hitter, William Dryberg. Pitch by West, outside. And it's 1-2 on the second baseman for the Coyotes. Here's the next pitch to him. Outside again, 2-2. And good job by Dryberg not waving at that pitch, just outside the zone. So it's 2-2. And the next one, fouled. Right side off the screen. The Eagles have the first base dugout. They are the visiting team in this game today as the number 3 seed. Here's the pitch. High, 3-2. So good at bat by Dryberg. It was 0-2. Now it's 3-2. Kendall Foster's on deck. And the next pitch. Hit him. It was either going to be ball 4 or hit by pitch. We'll call it hit by pitch. Hit him right in between the shoulders as he turned away from that pitch. So there's a 2-out runner, and that is Dryberg with Kendall Foster on deck now. Jarrett Gable, talked about him. He was named the player of the year in the KCAC. Coach Neal was named the coach of the year. Several first-team all-conference players, Hayden Brown, Dustin Sipe, Kendall Foster, who's at the plate now. Rigi, who's on the mound, was a all-conference player, as a Jarrett Brannon and Ritter Steinman. Here's the throw over to first, runners back. So a very productive year. Second team all-conference, Esquilian Cruz, Zach Beatty, honorable mention, Dryberg, who's at first, Tyler Triano. So the Coyotes well represented on the KCAC all-conference team. Hit pitch and hit high in the air to right field. It's deep and it's gone. Oh, my. Foster turned on that one and hit it high into the gray Missouri sky, and it's 2-1. So a hit batter and a home run, and it's 2-1. Coyotes. Wow, did Foster get all of that one? It all came with 2 outs. And remember, Dryberg had an 0-2 count on him. He worked it full, then was hit by the pitch. Here's Sipe. There's strike one. There's a swing and a miss. Foster, no stranger to home runs. That's his 22nd home run of the year. This team can hit some home runs. They've hit 130, now 131 home runs. And he has 22 of them now. Pitch just off the outside corner. Now look at their home runs. He has 20. Gable has 22. 22 now for Foster. They lead the way, those two. And the pitch. A little high. Well, it's 2-1. Bottom of the third inning. long home run to right field by Foster. Man, did he get all that one. And the pitch, swing and a miss. A fifth strikeout now for West. And he has 2 in the inning, but the 2-run homer by Kendall Foster. So 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We head to inning number 4. The Coyotes have the lead, 2-1. Top of the 4th inning, 2-1. Allen West will lead things off for the Eagles. His first time up, he struck out. First pitch to him, over for a strike, 0-1. 9 players from this CMU team made all-conference this year. Shortstop Robbie Merced was named the player of the year. The man at the plate, Allen West, pops this one up and foul, 0-2. He was the pitcher of the year and also all-conference as an outfielder. Tanner Sears, Joe Weatherford also named to the first team, Heart of America all-conference. Jeremy Conforti, Sebastian Escobar, Clayton Burke, Bobby Nichols, all second-teamers. Merced, Nichols, and catcher Logan Duty, all named Gold Glove winners. So a lot of honors in the Heart of America Conference for this team as well. Pitch is hit high in the air in foul territory. Drifting over in foul territory is the first baseman to make the catch. Hayden Brown, 1 down. So here is Giarola. He had a base hit, was stranded at second his first time up. Steps in from the right side. Pitch a little outside, ball 1. Girola, the .282 average. The CMU team, as a team, hits .333. And their opponent's .246. Girola, again, a .282 hitter. And here's the next one to him. That's inside. That pushes him away from the plate. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Kansas Wesleyan leading 2-1 on the Foster home run. Next pitch. Check swing. There's a strike. On deck is Joe Weatherford. And here's the next pitch. Outside corner, called a strike. Girola thought he had walked, but it's called a strike. Now it's 3-2. He flipped the bat back thinking he had walked, but called a strike on the outside corner. So full count on the CMU second baseman. Here's the next pitch to him. Popped it up, out of play. Back toward the parking lot. Estes Field on the campus of Central Methodist, turf field. Nice complex softball field just behind us. So here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. And that is the 3rd strikeout for Rigi. So 2 out for Joe Weatherford. Weatherford, a .336 hitter. He grounded to first his first time up. Takes this one outside, ball 1. Well, Riggi trying to do what a good pitcher would do. Your team gives you the lead, then you try to shut the door in the next half inning. And so far, he's 2/3 of the way there with a pop-up and a strikeout. Weatherford, ground ball towards second. Throw to first. Dryberg to Brown, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing across for the Eagles. Bottom of the 4th coming up. 2-1. Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. Bottom of the 4th inning. I'm Ken Quayama. Glad to have you with us. Be here all day with 3 games. And Grace Pinkerton is our producer throughout this tournament. Austin Bolin will be here tomorrow for 3 games, and I'll be back Thursday to wrap up this first round action. Here's Hayden Brown. Doubled his first time up, was stranded at second, and he swings and misses. Strike 1. West hit a batter, and he struck out 5 and 1 walk. Swing and a miss. As Brown unable to catch up with both of those pitches. We're talking about this Kansas Wesleyan team. They set new records in home runs, and several players have broken former individual home run records for this team. I mentioned Foster had 22 home runs. Gable also 22. It's the first regular season title in the KCAC since 2011. So it's just been a really good year for the Coyotes. Pitch outside. Beal Neal, Kansas Wesleyan all-time wins leader during the season. 42 wins is a school record. Pitch is a little bit low. The old record was 40 wins in 2009, so very productive year in 2023. Jared Gable, the KCAC Player of the Year. Pitch. There's a hard hit ball down the right field line, and that is hooking foul. Hit the base of the wall, the base of the fence, but it was foul. 27 conference wins, also a record for Kansas Wesleyan. Next one to Brown. Inside corner called, strike 3. And that is the 6th strikeout now for Allen West. 1 down for Zach Beatty, who walked, was stranded at first his first time up. He's a right-handed hitter. And the first pitch to him, over for a strike. Beatty, a .307 hitter on the year. He has 19 home runs. Takes it outside, 1-1. .327 average as a team for Kansas Wesleyan. Beatty has 19 home runs, 74 RBI. There's a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. He has 62 hits in 202 official at-bats. Just a little high with that pitch. West working that outside corner, looking for his 7th strikeout. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Kansas Wesleyan leading 2-1. Here's the next one to Beatty. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout. That's the 3rd in a row for West. He has 7 now in the game. And here is the KCAC Player of the Year, Jared Gable. He struck out his first time up. Gable, a .362 hitter. He has 22 home runs. So he's tied now with Foster for the team lead. 75 hits and 79 RBI. Gable steps in, and here's the next pitch to him. That's a little outside. West working that outside part of the plate here. Two-1, Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. Pitch. He finds the outside corner. And it's 1-2 on the Coyote shortstop. Next one to him. Way outside. Well, it's turned out to be a beautiful day. A little cool, but cloudy. Rain staying away. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3, and West strikes out the side. He now has 4 strikeouts in a row and 8 on the game. Nothing across. Inning number 5 coming up. This is a good one. Kansas Wesleyan leading CMU 2-1. Fifth inning. And this game moving right along. 2-1. Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. Talked about this CMU team. 34-17 overall record. 23-7 in the Heart of America Conference. Nate Breland, the coach of the year. Robbie Merced, the player of the year. Second straight year for that. And Alan West, the pitcher of the year. Pitch is outside. Ball 1 to Joey Fitzgerald, who flied to left his first time up. Here's the next one to him. That's the outside corner for a strike. Rigi and West, pretty good pitching matchup. We thought it would be. Here's the next one. Hard hit. Couple hops, though, to the second baseman, Dryberg. 1 down. I mentioned the couple players that transferred to CMU from Lyon College in Batesville, Arkansas. There are 5, in fact. Alan West, one of those. Clayton Burke, Caden Doan, the catcher, Logan Duty, and then the right fielder, Joy Weatherford, are all from Lyon. And here is Duty, the catcher. The Gold Glove winner in the Heart of America Conference at his position. He was hit by a pitch and scored the CMU run, or rather he did not. He was on, and then Tolliver ran for him, and Tolliver scored the run, but it was him getting hit by a pitch that led to the CMU run in the 3rd inning. Pitch on the outside corner to Duty. Rigi ready to go to work here with one out and almost hit Duty. Two-one. Kansas Wesleyan leads over CMU. We are in the top of the fifth inning, this 9-inning game. The winner plays tomorrow. The loser will play at 6 tonight. Here's a foul back. Duty, a .267 hitter on the year. And here's the pitch to him. And that is a called strike. He didn't think so. That's the fourth strikeout for Rigi now. Both pitchers really settling in. 2 out, and here's Nichols, top of the order. He's 0 for 1. Grounded to second in a sacrifice bunt. He was called out, then called safe, and then called out. Third baseman threw to first. The first base umpire said they bobbled it. The home plate umpire, after conferring, said no, and he was called out, but he did get the sacrifice, so he's 0 for 1. Nichols for an average, .330. Hadn't hit a home run on the year. Good leadoff hitter, has 58 hits. Right-handed hitter. And here's the next one to him. Ground ball to third. It stays fair. Backhanded by Sipe. Long throw and air mails it. And that'll be an error, a two-base error. Sipe made the backhand right at the base and then just simply threw that one a good 10 feet over the head of Aiden Brown. So it's a two-base error. And that brings up Robbie Merced, who's 2 for 2. Merced, a .384 hitter. And he's 2 for 2 in this one. Rigi trying to pitch around that air, and here's the pitch to Merced. Swing and a miss. He wanted to give his team the lead there. I mentioned his dad, Orlando Merced, you may remember, played in the Major League for 13 years. For Pittsburgh, Toronto, Minnesota, Boston, Chicago, the Cubs, Montreal, Houston. And this young man's a pretty good player. Swing and a miss. Fouls that one off to the right side. It's 0-2. Merced 2 for 2. Second year in a row, Heart of America Conference Player of the Year. And now with 2 strikes, he has a tying run at second base. 0-2 count. Rigi into the stretch. Nichols with the lead, and here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled straight back, still 0-2. Well, Rigi's going to challenge him. Merced waits from the right side. They attempt the pickoff, and getting back in was Nichols. I don't think Coach Breland would have been too happy to have him picked off second with Merced at the plate. But it's 0-2 on Merced. Rigi into the stretch. And the 0-2 pitch. Just inside 1 and 2. And Rigi wanted that one. Didn't get the call. It's 1 and 2. 2-1. Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. Top of the fifth inning. 2 out, 1 on. Next one to Merced is on the way. Hit him. And that's the third hit batter by Rigi. And we'll see how this plays out. Here's Conforti. Conforti's 0 for 2. Fly to center. And then caught looking on a strikeout. He's a .381 hitter. He has 9 home runs on the year. 51 RBI. 67 hits. And now we're going to have a visit to the mound And so this gives Nate Breland a chance to get all of his participants together. Nichols, who's at second, Merced's at first, Conforti's the hitter, and they're all gathered around. And Coach Breland between home plate and third base. Now Riggy's going to stay on there, I'm sure. But the throwing error and now the hit batter has given the Eagles a couple of base runners here in a one-run game. Standing and waiting to hit is Jeremy Conforti. And Conforti's 0 for 2. Fly to short center field and then caught looking. Well, there are big moments in any game, and here's one of them here. So 2 on, 2 out. Conforti at the plate. The meeting at the mound is over, and here's the first pitch. Instead, they turn to see if they can't catch Nichols off second, but he was alert. Quickly got back to the bag. CMU's had one runner picked off at first base. That was Sears in the first inning. Pitch to Conforti now. Inside corner for a strike. Well, you look at things that have happened this inning, that's the throwing error. And then on the one pitch to Merced, the Kyles thought they had the inside corner, called a ball. So a lot happening in this inning. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Riggy is one pitch away from getting out of this jam. He has 4 strikeouts. He's hit 3, has not walked anybody. Runner at second is Nichols. Merced's at first. 0-2 pitch. Coming to Conforti. Here it is. Popped it up. On the infield. Who wants it? First baseman in foul territory makes the catch. So in the inning, no runs, no hits. There was an error and 2 left on. The Eagles have stranded 5. Bottom of the 5th coming up. And Kansas Wesleyan leads it 2-1. Bottom of the 5th inning coming up. It'll be Kevin Esqualin Cruz, Zach Olson, and Kensuke Okeda, the 3 hitters. Allen West has struck out the last 4 that he has faced. He has 8 strikeouts in the game. Here's the first pitch to Esqualin Cruz. That's a strike. Quite a few scores coming in. We'll try to go over most of them for you as we go along here in this inning. Here's the next pitch. Fouled back. Some baseball scores. Midway defeated St. Xavier 6-5 yesterday. It was Bryan, Tennessee over Missouri Baptist 10-1. MNU out of the Heart of America Conference won their first game 5-2. Here's a pitch fouled straight back. Madonna, of course, this location defeated St. Francis 9-6. British Columbia over Antelope Valley 11-10. Indiana Wesleyan defeated Weber International. That's a team out of the Sun Conference 9-4. Freed Hardeman over Concordia, Nebraska 7-4. Next pitch, check swing. There's strikeout number 9. Now for West, and he has 5 in a row. And here's Zach Olson. Olson grounded to short his first time up. Mobile over Columbia, over Mobile Mobile won it 7-0. It was Taylor over Cumberland 3-2. Lewis and Clark 15-14 over Hope International. Here's the pitch, and that's fouled at the plate. Ave Maria out of the Sun Conference defeated Texas Wesleyan 20-8. Concordia over Oklahoma Science and Arts 11-7. Benedictine Arizona over Vanguard 5-4. Morningside defeated McPherson, Kansas 10-4. Here's the next pitch. Fly ball, right side. That is a foul ball, and no one can get to it. Giving chase over there was Weatherford. Cumberland's defeated Reinhardt 15-3. It was William Carey over Houston Victoria 7-0. Belleville, they're a good team, beat Grandview out of the Heart of America Conference 7-0. And then MNU won again over LSU Shreveport. Here's the next pitch. That's outside, 6-4. And one game today that we have a score, Concordia over St. Xavier 10-3. Softball scores, well, the CMU playing at noon today. We'll keep you updated on that one. Here's the next pitch, and that is a little bit outside. But Indiana Tech won yesterday. Columbia College won, beat Middle Georgia 5-0. Hope International over Campbellsville, Kentucky. Georgia Gwinnett won. Madonna won. Here's the pitch outside again as West really trying to work that corner. So Madonna won their game yesterday. Marion, Indiana beat Tennessee Wesleyan. Reinhardt a win over Southeastern Florida 6-4. These are softball scores. Here's the next pitch. Foul back to the screen. Florida National the winner over Mississippi University 13-12. Ottawa over Freed Hardeman, or rather, Ottawa won that game. Northwestern over Embry-Riddle. That was a 6-5 score. So there's a swing and a miss, and folks, that's the 10th strikeout, 6th in a row. How about that? 6 in a row now. Couple of softball scores we have today. Georgia Gwinnett over Indiana Tech 7-1, and Cumberland's defeated Madonna, by the way, this afternoon by the score of 4-2. So that gets you updated on all the scores. Swing and a miss by Okada. How about Allen West? He is rolling right now. Giving up the 2 hits, gave up a double in the second and a 2-run homer to Foster in the third. But now he is working on a strikeout string, and there's 0-2 now on Okada. Looking for his 6th or 7th strikeout in a row here. Here's the 0-2 pitch. He got it. 7 straight strikeouts for Allen West. He has 11 in the game. We head to the 6th inning. What a pitching duel we have here. And Kansas Wesleyan leading CMU 2-1. Top of the 6th inning, it's 2-1. Tanner Sears, Allen West, Tommaso Girola are the 3 scheduled hitters to face Nathan Rigi. Boy, these two pitchers. Rigi pitching out of a jam in the last inning. And how about Alan West? Now 7 straight strikeouts. He has struck out 11 in this game. Sears, West, and Giarola, the 3 scheduled hitters for the Eagles. Here's the first pitch. That's hit high in the air to center field, drifting over. Esqualin Cruz makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out. And that brings West to the plate. West, a .412 hitter. He is 0 for 2 in this one. .412, has 8 home runs, 68 hits coming into this game, and 34 RBI. He bats from the right side. First pitch to him, swing and a miss.
CMU women are in the bottom of the second, tied 0-0 with St. Francis.
CMU women's softball teams tied with St. Francis, bottom of the second. Next pitch to West. High fly ball, kind of reached for that one. Pokes it out to right field. Olson drifting back about 4 steps in front of the warning track. Makes the catch, 2 down. And he's 0 for 3. And here's Girola. He's 1 for 2. A base hit in the second and then struck out in the fourth. He's a .282 hitter. He steps in from the right side. Both of these pitchers really working quickly now. Pitch is inside, ball 1. Rigi's hit 3 batters and hasn't walked anybody and struck out 4. There's the next one to him. High fly ball, that's going to drift out of play. Well, will these two pitchers go the distance, or will we see some bullpen action here in the later innings? Again, most of the time, Scotty's teams play 7-inning games. They play doubleheaders, but single game, they are 9-inning games. So coaches have to do a lot of thinking coming down the stretch. We're in the 6th inning. Rigi working to Giarola. And here's the pitch. Check swing. And they say no. First base umpire says nope. Pitch was a little low. Loser of this game will play again at 6 tonight. Here's the pitch. Foul back to the screen. So we'll do it again. Rigi takes a very short windup. And he got the strikeout, a called third strike, and that's his 5th strikeout of the game. And a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the 6th coming up, and Kansas Wesleyan hanging on to a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the 6th inning, top of the order, Dryberg, Foster, Sipe to face Allen West, who has struck out 11, 7 in a row. He pitched a no-hitter earlier this year, the second in CMU history against Benedictine. No no-hitter today. He's given up 2. Gave up a double in the second and a 2-run homer to Kendall Foster in the third. Here's Dryberg. He was hit by a pitch, and he was on base when Foster hit that bomb to right field. First pitch to Dryberg. Fouled back to the screen, 0-1. Both these pitchers coming in with over 100 strikeouts, and both power pitchers showing their stuff in this one. 0-1 to Dryberg. Popped up, out of play, quickly 0-2. West takes a very short windup as well. And here's the 0-2. Ground ball to second. That breaks the streak. But another out as Giarola got to that one and flipped to first for the out. 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. But that breaks that streak of 7 straight strikeouts. Here's Foster. His long home run to right field in the 3rd inning. The 2 runs for the Coyotes. He has 22 home runs on the year now. Left-handed hitter, and he taps this one foul right at the plate, 0-1. Well, West hasn't made many mistakes, but he made one to Foster. Got a pitch that was too good, and that thing was hammered out of here. Outside corner, 0-2. Oh, 2 on Foster with Sipe on deck. Here's the next one to him. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. West takes it on a hop, trots toward first, underhand flip to Conforti for the out. 2 down, and that'll bring up Dustin Sipe, who has struck out twice in this game. Sipe, a .323 hitter. He has 16 home runs. This team, again, hit a ton of home runs this year, 130 home runs, setting a record. But Sipe is 0 for 2. First pitch to him. Outside corner, strike 1. Next pitch to Sipe. Fouled off to the right side. Since the home run to Foster, West has retired 9 straight. And here's the next one to Sipe. Ground ball toward short. Merced up, over, and out. Good stretch at first by Conforti, and a 1-2-3 inning for the Coyotes. We head to the 7th inning. 2-1 Kansas Wesleyan over CMU. Three innings to go, at least in regulation in this one. And it's been a good pitching battle. Nathan Regie back to the hill to face Weatherford, Fitzgerald, and Duty. Weatherford 0 for 2, grounded to first and to second. Left-handed hitter. And here's a pitch from Regie. Outside corner for a strike. Both these pitchers have been around. I don't think there's been a walk in the game. Yeah, West walked one. Riggi hadn't walked anybody, hit 3 batters. And one of those came around to score. Tolliver, the pinch runner, came around to score. Fouled left side out of play. And it's quickly 0-2. Madonna and Southeastern Florida, the next game, scheduled to start at 2:30. We will have that one for you, of course. And then St. Francis will play the loser of this one at 6, and we'll have that one for you. This one tapped down the first baseline, but it's foul. I'll be here the rest of the day. Austin Boland will be here for all 3 tomorrow, and then I'll be back on Thursday. Weatherford steps back in from the left side. Outfield plays him pretty straight away. Second baseman is a few steps out in the outfield. Here's the pitch. That one stays outside. The shortstop, Gable, shading him towards second base. And here's the next pitch to Weatherford. Fouls it left side again. That one might have got a car out in the parking lot. Weatherford back in. And Riggi's ready. And here's his pitch. That one skips off the turf and back to the backstop. 2-1 ball game. Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. We're in the top of the 7th. Riggi working to Weatherford. And here's the pitch. Popped up. And that one's going back out of play. So good at bat by Weatherford. He's making Riggi throw a lot of pitches here. No action in the Kansas Wesleyan bullpen, which is behind the third base dugout. And I don't see any on the CMU side as well. So these coaches are content with what they're seeing out of these 2 starters, and why not? Here's the next one to Weatherford. Hits it high, center field, back, and plenty of room is Esquiline Cruz. Well, you hit it to dead center. That's 400 feet out there. And Esquiline Cruz had room just short of the track to make the catch, 1 out. And it brings out Joey Fitzgerald, who's 0 for 2. Fly to left, grounded to second. He's a left-handed hitter. He is the third baseman. Long at bat for Weatherford. But Riggi got the win, got the victory in that short battle. 0-1 now on Fitzgerald. Madonna players are coming off the bus, and they're coming in now. They'll play in the next game. There might be some offense in that next game. Here's the pitch. Little high, 1-1. 2 very powerful offensive teams, Madonna and Southeastern Florida. Madonna, a very good pitching performance yesterday. There's ground ball to second, gobbled up by Dryberg. Now he drops it, and that's going to be an error. He gobbled it up, and as he tried to make the exchange from his glove to his throwing hand, dropped it, and that is an error. The second error committed by the Coyotes. And that'll bring up Logan Duty, who was hit by a pitch and scored, and he didn't, but Tolliver, his pinch runner, scored the run. Well, let's see how this plays out now. Pitch, foul, right side out of play. Dryberg made the play, went to a knee, got the ball, and as he picked it, tried to take it from the glove to the right hand, he dropped it. 0-1 now on duty. Bobby Nichols on deck. We're in the 7th inning. 2-1, Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Picked up by the third baseman. Throws to second for one. On to first. Double play. That's how you erase an error. 5, 4, 3. Double play. And in the inning, no runs, no hits, an error, and nobody left. Bottom of the 7th, 2-1, Kansas Wesleyan. Bottom of the 7th inning coming up. It'll be Hayden Brown, Zach Beatty, Jarrett Gable. 2-1 game. Only 2 hits for the Coyotes and just 3 hits for the Eagles. Here's Brown. He doubled in the second, was stranded at second, and then struck out. 11 strikeouts in the game now for Allen West. Brown, a left-handed hitter. First pitch to him stays outside, ball 1. Madonna in southeastern Florida. That game coming up at 2:30, or that's the scheduled start time. Here's the next one. That's inside 2-0. And boy, I just cannot recall many counts where it's been 2-0 from Allen West. He has been a hit of every hitter. But it's 2-0 on Brown. Here's the next one. Outside 3-0. Brown just has the one walk. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Outside corner for a strike, 3-1. Winner of this game gets the rest of the day off. The loser will play at 6 against St. Francis against the Fighting Saints. Next one to Brown. Outside corner, 3-2. So West fighting his way back here in the count. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled back to the screen. Getting a good crowd here this afternoon. Bleachers aren't full, but a lot of folks in the first few rows. Here's the pitch. And there's a base hit up the middle. Merced dives for it, can't come up with it. I don't think he'd have been able to get him anyway. So that's the third hit, and it's a leadoff single for Hayden Brown. And that brings up Zach Beatty, the designated hitter. Let's see how the Coyotes want to play this one. Beatty walked and struck out in his 2 appearances. So he's 0 for 1 officially. Brown at first, very short lead there. Being held by Conforti. Here's the pitch, fouled straight back, 0-1. Well, it's getting late, bottom of the 7th inning. And now we're starting to see a little bit of action in the Coyote bullpen. They're stirring around a little bit out in the right field bullpen as well. Nobody up and throwing yet, though. Next one to Beatty, way high and outside, 1-1. Again, as I mentioned, most of the time, these college pitchers pitch 7 innings if they go the distance, because most of the time it's a doubleheader. And this is a little bit different. You're getting at that bottom of the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. A little bit different. Here's the pitch to Beatty. That's outside, and it gets away. And heading down to second on the wild pitch will be Brown, as Duty could not corral that one. So runner at second now with nobody out. And Beatty stepping back in. Next pitch to him, just off the outside corner. Runner at second is Brown. Beatty the hitter. Giraldo trying to keep him close at second, so there's a big hole on the right side. And the pitch. And he hits it into right center. That's a base hit. Brown rounds third. He's going to score. It's 3-1 on the base hit to right center by Zach Beatty. So it's now 3-1. And Jared Gable will be the hitter, the player of the year in the KCAC. So 2 hits in this inning. Runner at first now is Beatty. And here's Gable. West into the stretch. And the pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Gable struck out in both of his appearances, called looking both times. Here's the next one to him, with runner at first. Outside, 1-1. Bottom of the 7th inning, Kansas Wesleyan leading 3-1 now over Central Methodist. West trying to get out of the 7th inning. Here's the next pitch. That's outside, 2-1. Into the stretch as West takes a look over at first and brings it in to Gable. Ooh, outside corner. Called a strike. And that evens the count at 2-2. West again into the stretch. And here's the 2-2 pitch. A little low. So it's a full count on Jared Gable, with Zach Beatty on at first, and 1 run already in, nobody out. Again, Beatty takes that a very safe lead at first. And here's the next pitch. Fouled. Off to the right side. Still 3-2. Kansas Wesleyan out of Salina, Kansas. For CMU, the home team in this site, Fayette, Missouri. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Gable. Hits it high in the air to short center field. Everybody giving chase. Second baseman goes out. Giarola makes the catch. Or he may have dropped it. How are they going to rule? They're going to rule the catch was made. Yeah, they're going to rule the catch was made, and then as Giarola was transferring the ball to glove hand to his throwing hand, he dropped it, so that runner's going to be out, and back at first base, Beatty stays at first. So 1 out, and even had they ruled it a drop, they were going to get the runner at second, so there's one out either way. The second base umpire said, nope, he caught it, and as he was transferring, that's when the ball dropped out. So here's Esqualin Cruz, the center fielder. He's grounded to short and struck out and takes strike one. One run in here in the seventh. It's 3-1 Kansas Wesleyan. Pretty good crowd of Kansas Wesleyan fans here. Made the trip over from Kansas. Swing and a miss, strike two. So line right on I-70. And two strikes on the Esqualin Cruz here. And here's the next pitch. Just off the corner. Been a long bottom of the seventh so far, and it's just one out. Next pitch. Check swing. That one stays outside as Esqualin Cruz would not chase. The runner at first is Beatty. One run in, one out. And here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. That's strikeout number 12. Second time, the Esqualin Cruz has struck out. 12 strikeouts now for West. Two outs, and here's Zach Olson. Olson rounded to short, and he struck out his first time up. Or second time up, he struck out. He steps in from the right side. Where's number 99? Pitch to him. Hit to the right side. Foul out of play. Didn't take much of a swing, and that ball went a long ways down that right field line, but well foul. In fact, it went and looked like into the CMU bullpen where there is some activity now, starting to loosen up out there. Not much happening on the behind that third base dugout, so it looks like Coach Neal's going to stay with his starter in the eighth inning. Pitch to Olson. Just outside. One run in, couple of hits to lead off the inning. Then they pop up to the second baseman and a strikeout. West again into the stretch. Takes a look at first and the pitch. Hit high in the air to left field, but that is playable, and the catch is made out there by Tanner Sears. But in the inning, one big run on a couple of hits. No errors and one left. That's the first base runner stranded by Kansas Wesleyan. We head to inning number 8, and the Coyotes have a 3-1 lead over the Eagles. Bobby Nichols, Robbie Merced, Jeremy Conforti in the top of the 8th inning. Nathan Riggi back out there. He's given up just 3 hits. He struck out 5 for First pitch, fouled right side. Well, here we go into the 8th inning, as I've been talking about. A lot of these teams play 7-inning doubleheaders, and now you get these pitchers stretched into the 8th and 9th inning. We'll see what happens. It's 0-1 now on Nichols. Next pitch, outside 1-1. And there's a lot of action now behind that third base dugout and also down the right field line. I think a couple of the Eagles are warming up as well. Can't see down there, but they are working in both bullpens now. Here's the pitch to Nichols. Fly ball, right field. Back is Olson. It's over his head, and he reaches up and makes the catch. Kind of got turned around a little bit, but he was able to backpedal and reach up and make the catch. 1 down. Here's Merced, 2 for 2 with a hit by pitch. A base hit in the first, a base hit in the third, stranded at second both times, and then hit by pitch. 1 out in the 8th. Riggy trying to go through the heart of this lineup again. Pitch is fouled straight back. Riggy works it to Merced. That's a little high, 1-1. 1-1 is the count on Merced. And here is the next one to him from Nathan Riggy. Foul to the right side. Kansas Wesleyan is the number 2 seed in this first round. Riggy trying to get by the CMU shortstop, and here's the pitch. Ground ball, hit to short. That's going to be an infield hit. No way are they going to get Merced with that speed. That was a very slow roller to short. Merced runs well. So he gets his 3rd hit of the day, an infield single. He's at first for Conforti. Conforti is 0 for 3, fly to center, struck out, and then popped out to first. One out, one on. Let's see if Merced's going to do some running here. First pitch to Conforti, outside corner for a strike. Merced has good speed, has a decent lead, and they throw over, and he's back in plenty of time. Oh, 1 is the count on Conforti. And the pitch to him. Outside and low, 1-1. One and one on Conforti. Merced takes a decent lead. And the pitch. Hit high in the air. Short right field. Everybody giving chase, and it is foul. Second baseman Dryberg was at full speed trying to get to that foul ball and couldn't get there. Right fielder was coming over as well. But it's just a strike to Conforti. Tanner Sears is on deck. We're in the top of the 8th inning. The Coyotes of Kansas Wesleyan leading this one 3-1. One-two count now on Conforti. And the pitch to him. Swing and a miss. That is the 6th strikeout for Riggy. The second time Conforti has struck out. So there are 2 outs with 1 on for Tanner Sears. Sears hit by a pitch. Popped out to second and fly to center. Top of the 8th inning. A lot of people pacing around now. There goes Merced. Pitch is a strike. There's the throw. He's in with a stolen base. So Merced's at second with 2 out and a 0-1 count on Sears. Oh and 1. Sears waits the next one from Rigi. Merced with a nice lead. He won't be running from there unless there's a pass ball or wild pitch. Here's the pitch, and it's hit to center field. Esqualene Cruz makes the catch. And in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The Eagles have stranded 6. Bottom of the 8th, it's 3-1 Kansas Wesleyan. Bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be Okada, and then the top of the order, 3-1, Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. And yes, Allen West is back out there working this 8th inning. Looks like we may have a pinch hitter coming up here for Kansas Wesleyan. Diego Fisher is going to hit for Okada. Diego Fisher, he's a senior out of Hollister, California. Left-handed hitter, 6'3", 235. Be playing tight end for somebody. But he's batting here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Okada was 0 for 2. Pitches a strike. Allen West has given up just 4 hits. 1 was a 2-run homer. And he has struck out 12 in this game. Walked 1, hit a batter. You can't ask him to do much more than this. Here's the pitch. Fouled back to the screen. So 0-2 now on Fisher. Here's the next one. Way outside. And that was kind of a waste pitch by West. The Eagles will need 2 runs in the 9th inning to keep this one alive. The loser of this one will play again at 6 o'clock tonight. Here's the next pitch. Fisher swings and misses. Strikeout number 13 for Allen West. Wow. And here's Dryberg, the second baseman. He steps in. He struck out to lead off the game and then hit by a pitch and scored on the 2-run homer by Foster and then grounded to second his last time up. First pitch to him by West, swing and a miss. Well, you talk about performances, and I tell you, just the one pitch to Foster. Pitch outside, and Foster didn't miss it. He hit a mammoth home run to right field, but wow, West says, I get that one pitch back, who knows? But give Kendall Foster credit. He took advantage of a pitch that West misplaced, and he parked it deep into right field. Here's another strike call. 1-2 on Dryberg. Foster, by the way, is on deck. And the pitch. Foul ball right side. Here's the pitch to Dryberg. Fouls this one. Just got a piece of that one off the screen to the right side. And we'll do it again. Next one to Dryberg, way outside. Looked like West tried to put just a little more on that one. But what a performance. 13 strikeouts, walked one, and hit a batter. But Riggy's been just as good on the other side. Here's a pitch outside. West, here's the next one to Dryberg. Just got a piece of that one, fouled it back to the screen. During this game, West had a streak of 7 straight strikeouts. The CMU right-hander brings it in. A pulled foul, left side, out of play. Boy, it's turned out to be a really nice day, overcast, but very pleasant temperatures. And here's the next one. Foul to the right side. Good at bat by Dryberg. He is making West throw a lot of pitches here in this 8th inning. And we'll see how the Coyotes are going to play it in the 9th, I would guess. If they're going to go back to their starter, at least to start the inning. It's 3-1, Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. Dryberg, after the several foul balls, steps back in, and the pitch to him. Ground foul outside of third. That would have been a double. But it's foul. Dryberg again waits, pitch, popped up. On the infield, who wants it? Third baseman calls for it and makes the catch. 2 down. So 2 down, and that brings up Kendall Foster, who to this point of the game has the game-winning hit, a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 3. And did he get all of that one? Here's the pitch to him. Over for a strike, 0-1. Two out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Next pitch is high and outside, 1-1. If Foster would get on, it'd be up to Dustin Sipe. Here's the next one to Foster. Over but low, 2-1. Nobody on. West delivers. That's outside. 3-1. Madonna and Southeastern. I'm looking forward to that one. That could be an offensive explosion. That's coming up next. Here's a pitch. Hit high in the air. Got under that one. Foul ball. First base side. And let's see if the catch was made or not. I think it was. It was a foul ball. Nope, was not made. That was behind the first base dugout. We couldn't see it. But that ball dropped. So it's just a strike, and it's 3-2. So Foster gets another crack at it here. 3-2, and the pitch. Called, third strike, and that is strikeout number 14 on the day for Allen West. 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the 8th. 3-1 is the score. Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. We head to inning number 9. Ninth inning coming up for the Eagles, who trail by 2. It'll be Allen West, Tommaso Giarola, and Joe Weatherford, the 3 scheduled hitters. Nathan Riggi is back on the mound. He gave up a run in the 3rd, and that's been it. He's only given up 4 hits. West, a .412 hitter, is 0 for 3 in this game. First pitch to him is hit high in the air, but playable to left field. Foster waits for it to come down. 1 pitch, 1 out. We talked about all the strikeouts for Allen West, but how about the job of Nathan Riggi? Wow. He's given up just 4 hits. A wild pitch scored the only run, and he has been something else. 6 strikeouts. He's hit 3 batters. Hadn't walked anybody. And here's Giarola. First pitch to him is a strike. Riggi is 10-2, looking for his 11th win of the year. And he's 2 outs away. Pitches high back to the screen, 1-1. And on the other side, as far as Allen West is concerned, he came in with a 9-2 record. He now has 117 strikeouts on the year, 14 today. Here's the next pitch. That's high, 2-1. Well, you're in that 9th inning. Most of these pitchers aren't used to going 9, so let's see. But he got West to swing of the first pitch and got it out there. Giarola waits, and the pitch to him. Hit high in the air, and it is toward third base dugout, and it's out of play. Now timeout is called by Giarola. If this score holds, CMU will play St. Francis at 6 o'clock tonight. The next game again is Madonna against Southeastern Florida, the reigning national champs and the number 1 seed in the entire tournament. Giarola waits, and here's the pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3. That's his 7th and the 3rd time that Giarola struck out. Now there are 2 outs, and Weatherford is the hitter. What a performance by Nathan Riggi if he would hold on to get this one. And he's 1 out away from advancing. Weatherford is 0 for 3. Pitch ball 1. 1-0 is the count on Riggi, or rather on Weatherford from Riggi. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, that is foul, first base side. Riggi ready. Weatherford's back in from the left side. And the pitch. Ground ball to second. Dryberg has it. Throws to first. And this game is over. And Kansas Wesleyan moves on in the winner's bracket, winning this one by the score of 3-1. For the game, the Coyotes, 3 runs, the big blow in the 3rd inning, a 2-run homer by Kendall Foster, his 22nd of the year. They had only 4 hits. And no CMU errors, and only 1 base runner left on base for the Coyotes. Only 1 base runner left on base, or 2 runners, check that. 2 base runners left on base, but they got all they needed in that home run. For the Eagles, they had the 1 run. They only had 4 hits. They stranded 6. And there were 2 errors by the Coyotes. losing pitcher, Alan West, he goes to 9-3, struck out 14, walked one, and hit a batter. And the winning pitcher going the distance, Nathan Regie, he's now 11-2. He struck out 7, gave up just the 4 hits. So we're going to take a break. Our next game will be Madonna. That'll be against number 1 seed Southeastern. And then the 6 o'clock game, CMU will be back here to take on St. Francis in an elimination game. So hang around. We'll be back shortly. Grace Pinkerton is our producer. I'm Ken Cuiava, and we'll be back with game number 2. We should be back right around 2:30 this afternoon.